And the big story at this hour, which we have been continuously tracking for the last 2 hours, at least 15 persons, including 2 police personnel, were injured in a grenade blast carried out by suspected Alpha militants at the busy Paltan Bazaar area near the railway station in Guwahati. Perhaps the big story which we have been tracking, a bomb blast in Paltan Bazaar, Guwahati, first in Lakhimpur 3 days back, then in Karbi Anglong's Bokali Ghat, and now the natural target which the police say, in fact the DGP of Assam had said, Guwahati's Paltan Bazaar have become once again the soft target of Alpha. Well, we have now Guwahati's Lok Sabha MP Bijoya Chakravarti joining us on the phone line from Delhi. Ma'am, you have seen that in Assam there has been 3 successive blasts in the last 4 days. 2 in Lakhimpur, then in Karbi Anglong, and now in Guwahati. There is utter chaos, utter lawlessness in the state of Assam. What is your take on that?
So, you see, main point is this, you see, that there is no government in Assam. In my different subsequent press conference, I repeatedly told these things, that although there is a chief minister, there is home minister, there are different ministers and MLAs, but in fact, there is no government in Assam. It is because that you have seen that there is frequent bomb dispute in Assam, and within a week, 4 bomb disputes have been happened. And what the chief minister has done, he has got a proper information that there will be some trouble in Assam and some extremist elements operating in Assam. And by that time, different police stations also recover many grenades and different weapons. And what chief minister has done, he only instituted few meetings with the police officials and did nothing. And these government, they are busy to keeping their government intact, but they are not taking any positive steps or any realistic steps.
Well,
And moreover, chief minister has got the portfolio of the home ministry, and having that huge portfolio, what Tarun Gogoi has been is doing, he is simply coming to Delhi off and on. Within a week, for 4 times also he came to Delhi, and he went to foreign countries, but he did not take anything to keep the proper security to the people of Assam. It is very unfortunate. I condemn it, and also demand that Tarun Gogoi Sarkar should go and Tarun Gogoi should immediately resign, taking the moral responsibility of the situation.
Well, ma'am, you have rightly pointed out that the Assam Congress, the politicians are busy in hobnobbing in Delhi as there are internal bickerings in the party. Well, 3 successive blasts, the police administration in Assam, the Assam Chief Minister himself has said that Alpha is behind all these blasts, though Alpha has denied it yesterday. But now the question remains that if the police administration, if the government, if the IB has information, as you said, there is failure in the government, why is the government not being able to intervene? Why the center is remaining silent to this? The Bodh Gaya blast has been there, and now the blast in Guwahati. The entire country is shivering ahead of the Independence Day. We are all living in fear, and the government is silent. Your take on that, madam?
Yes, point is, you see, the person who is in charge of the state or a country, he must have got a responsibility. He must have got that accountability. You see, Tarun Gogoi government, he did not do anything for the people of Assam. They are busy in keeping their chair intact and nothing else. Only he has given some comical remarks, whatever, whenever there is a problem, simply Tarun Gogoi wash it away by giving some very farcical, very comical remarks. If Tarun Gogoi, who is the Home Minister, if he had been serious, he would have taken it also and very seriously, and he would have taken some realistic step. What the police people are doing, few people are honest, no doubt. Few police persons are honest, no doubt. But most of the people, they are busy in collecting money for the Assam Ministry different ministers. And I condemn the activities of the Tarun Gogoi. And by being Home Minister and the Chief Minister, what he is doing, simply by instituting few meetings, he cannot wash in hands.
Well,
if he has got force, there is want of force, he could have asked it from the other parts of the country. What he is doing?
Well, ma'am, is the BJP now going to take this issue and the national platform? Because when we see something happening elsewhere outside the northeastern region, it becomes a national issue. Here is a question where 3 successive blasts has happened in Assam. Is the BJP going to raise this issue in the monsoon session which is coming, or in the other platforms? If you can just react on that.
assure you that there are many issues against the Assam government. You see, this issue also, this issue of the bomb blast, I will surely raise in the parliament, and I will also request our senior leaders that they will join in and they will raise the issue vociferously and to condemn the activities of the Assam government. You see that in 1 year, nearly 1,000 rhinos are killed. Even then, there is no reaction on the part of the government. One of his ministers says that in 1.5 rupees you can get the meal. So these things happen in this country, in our Assam. Still, Tarun Gogoi is the chief minister. That is the most unfortunate and tragic part for the people of Assam.
And madam, do you think that chief minister only, as you said, he makes whimsical remarks and he just shies away from the matter? It's a serious issue that the state has seen 3 blasts in the last 4 days, and the home minister, who is the chief minister himself, is not accepting any moral responsibility. He's saying that the Alpha's movement has become a little bit less. Yesterday he was addressing press in Guwahati, where he said that Alpha is not being that strong, but after the statement we see a day after, 24 hours after the statement being made by the chief minister, that Guwahati has seen a blast with 15 people being injured.
You see, it is the habit of Tarun Gogoi to blast aside everything by making some farcical comment. And if you ask Tarun Gogoi what is this, he will say that these things happen in America, these things happen in Russia, these things happen in Great Britain. He will say like this. But he never take responsibility, nor he take any accountability of any happenings. That is the most unfortunate part.
So ma'am, you say that chief minister is irresponsible.
Definitely irresponsible. Definitely irresponsible person.
Alright, thank you ma'am for giving us all the updates on this story, where we see that the failure of the police administration in Assam, that the 3 successive blasts in the last 4 days, one in Lakhimpur, where we see 2 grenade blasts. One was, of course, the grenade was recovered in Lakhimpur. Then we saw Karbi Anglong's Bokali Ghat being attacked, and now the capital city of Guwahati in Assam, where we see blast in Paltan Bazar, the busy area where we have seen blasts happening earlier also, and today's blast at 7:55 p.m. has once again ensured that the threat is palpable in the state. The police administration is really lackadaisical, because yesterday they were saying they have inputs, IB inputs, all inputs they have, but they're not being able to thwart off the activities. They say that red alert has been issued across the state. There is tight vigil being maintained. In fact, this incident happened when the police were checking. They were checking vehicles in GS Road, but unfortunately this has happened while the police were on its vigil. So that's something which needs to be discussed, because at this point, if police are checking at that particular place, some people come in bike and then they attack. And also, to shy away from the matter, the police first say that 5 people have been injured and later says that 7 people, and then the figure goes up to 15 people. It's a huge number. 15 people have been injured, and that too seriously injured, and 2 are said to be very, very critical in this incident. Well, the big story coming in, where we see for the last 2 hours we have been tracking minute by minute of the story, the blast in Paltan Bazar, which has split wide open the scenario, the law and order scenario in Assam. We were just speaking to Vijaya Chakravarti, where she lambasted the Assam chief minister, saying that he is completely irresponsible. He only makes farcical comments and is not serious to sort out issues, because he is himself the home minister of this state. But when it comes to making accountable, he is only just trying to shy away from the incident. Well, perhaps the story which we are tracking right now is the blast in Guwahati's Paltan Bazar, the busy Paltan Bazar, where 15 people have been injured seriously. 2 are said to be in a very, very critical condition. The grenade was hurled when police personnel were checking vehicles at GS Road. Of the 15 injured, the condition of 2 is stated to be very, very critical. The injured have been admitted to GMC hospital in the city. Alpha militants normally try to create trouble during the run-up to the Independence Day. Well, just around 18 days from now, Independence Day, and as though the Alpha has been denying the Lakhimpur and Karbi Anglong blasts, but the police strongly suspect the involvement of Alpha in all the 3 blasts, be it Lakhimpur, be it Karbi Anglong, be it the Guwahati's Paltan Bazar. visuals which we are showing you of the Guwahati blast which took place today at 7:55. The police are suspecting it to be the involvement of Alpha, though the earlier two blasts which has happened in Lakhimpur and Karbi Anglong, the Alpha has denied yesterday. In fact, the Alpha's chief Paresh Barua had called our editor-in-chief and had denied their involvement in the blasts which were suspected by the Assam police to be done by the Alpha. And today also we are seeing that the blast in Paltan Bazaar, where the police have already put the suspicion on Alpha because Alpha had just observed its Shahid Divas yesterday. And now we see that after the Chief Minister made a comment that the Alpha's strength has weakened, here we see a reply being made by the Alpha saying that we are not weak, we are definitely strong. In fact, the police DGP 3 days back was giving an interview where they said that the number of incidents of subversive activities have drastically come down, but I think if you just go by the numbers, I think that's not the solution.
তেতিয়া গোটাইখিনি চেক কৰাৰ পিছতহে মই ক'ব পাৰিম আৰু এইটো ইয়াতে আমাৰ চেকিং এটা আছিলে দুজন পুলিচো ইনজৰ্ড হৈছে গোটাইখিনি আমালোকে চাই আছোঁ তাৰপিছত মই আপোনাক ক'ব
How many person has been injured here?
till now we have got 2 policemen injured and 4-5 public civilians injured, but details we are yet to collect. Obviously we suspect Alpha, but we are still investigating.
কাপোৰ কিনিব আহিছিলোঁ, কাপোৰ কিনিব মানে এৰি থৈ মানে আমাৰ কাপোৰ ডাউন কৰি থৈ যে আৱাজটো পূৰা আৱাজ উঠি গৈছে, তেতিয়া মানে উপায় নাপাই মই ভয়ত দৌৰিছোঁ। এই অলপ আগতে টাইমটো মই চোৱা নাই, বম ডাঙৰ আছে বহুত মই এইবিলাক চোৱা নাই আৰু মই এইপিনে মোক কাপোৰ কিনি আছিলোঁ, মই শুনা পাই তাৰমানে দৌৰিছোঁৱে আৰু মই জান বচাইছোঁ।
কেনেকুৱা শংকা
এতিয়া একো নাই মই।
एक्चुअली मैं इधर खड़ा था 2-4 मिनट पहले मैं इधर खड़ा था। मैं इधर जब इतना तक गया तो इतना जोर से आवाज़ निकला और आवाज़ के साथ साथ आग भी निकल गया।